Great to see everybody, and thanks so much for coming today. And I'm Caroline Bamford, I'm Head of Diversity and Inclusion. So purpose of today really is focusing around our staff networks. And as you know, it's really important in terms of the trust around our staff networks and the development, particularly around our workforce people plan, around belonging in the NHS, about ensuring that we hear people's voices. And the purpose of today is to have a bit of a discussion in terms of some of the findings around the engagement work that you've undertaken across the organisation, and to talk a bit about future plans. Merran McRae, as our chair, has agreed to facilitate this discussion today, and really welcome Merran in terms of finding out more about the plans for our network, but also in terms of the support at really senior level in terms of developing our networks that we want to take forward as part of our people plan.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for asking me to facilitate this session. I'm Merran McRae, I'm Chair of the Trust, and it's really nice to meet you all. I'm going to go around and do some introductions to start with, so if we could start with you, Mahesh.
Yeah, my name's Mahesh Patel, and I'm the co-chair of the REN Network, which stands for Workforce Racial Equality Network.
I'm Maxine, I'm the co-chair with Mahesh for the Workforce Race Equality Staff Network.
I'm Sophie, I'm the co-chair of the Rainbow Alliance, the Trust's LGBT plus network.
And I'm Miriam Blackburn. I'm a member of the Disability and Wellbeing Network, here on behalf of the chair who can't be with us today.
So you've all recently engaged with your network members via the Your Voice Counts. Can you each share the top 3 areas that members have asked you to focus on for the year ahead?
For the REN Network, I know that our members wanted to speak about the support that they're receiving when they're reporting hate crimes. I know that also the members mentioned they would like to have a reduction in the incidents that are happening across the trust around bullying, harassment and abuse that the staff are receiving overall. Also, our members talked about transparency and having regular updates, but I think the members should receive this throughout everything that we are doing.
The Rainbow Alliance recently changed from being staff and service user network to just being staff network. So one of the key things that came out of it was that we need to improve visibility and awareness of the Rainbow Alliance. Part of that was that we can go out and visit sites and actually have physical presence from time to time at all the different trust sites, so that it's really obvious and really clear that we are here.
So the top 3 areas that were identified through the themes from the survey were around creating an environment where staff feel safe to be able to disclose having either a disability or a long-term health condition. The second priority leads on from that really in terms of then tackling the stigma that surrounds disclosing that information. So increasing awareness and understanding within the organisation of disability and long-term health conditions. And then the final one was to raise awareness at work of disability and long-term health conditions, including education for staff and line management support as well.
Thank you. So this year's, and some resonance with that, this year's staff network thing is staying strong. Can you say how you think colleagues can get involved and contribute as a member of the network to that theme?
So I think it's important for colleagues to come along to those meetings where they can be an ally or be a member, so that they can understand what those networks are there to support, and to engage in the meetings. So if there's something being discussed or an issue being raised, to get involved. Also, pieces of work come out of these meetings, such as policy reviews and such, and it's around engaging with that and having the ability to make some change, and bringing their experience and ideas to share with the networks as well, and to support each other to stay strong.
Good, thank you. And Sophie, in terms of staying strong for the Rainbow Alliance?
For members of our alliance, what we would encourage people to do and to get involved is to join meetings where possible, but obviously everyone's very busy at the moment and that's not always possible. So we have lots of digital channels available. We have a Microsoft Teams channel, Facebook, Twitter, where people can join us, follow us, and either get involved directly or find out how they can help. I think we're coming into Pride season, so if anyone wants to, then they're more than welcome to join us at Pride. Just email us and let us know your interest.
Sure, you'll get a lot of interest in
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Maxine, for the REN network and the theme staying strong?
Yeah, I think for us, it's about the members are able to, and colleagues are able to attend the meetings, being able to support the agendas that are going on. We understand that with staffing currently the way it is, it's not always easy to attend the meetings. So we are actually, as the chairs, looking to go out to sites to support members as well. But I think other things around raising awareness, being able to signpost colleagues, and the engagement and involvement on the different platforms like yourself are doing at the Rainbow Alliance. We also have like a WhatsApp group, we have a Twitter, and we are trying to engage with them a lot more. So I think it's just being able to be present, really.
It's quite a common theme about people getting engaged in order to help stay strong and share that network. Thank you. So Mahesh, we know allies are really important to staff networks. Can you perhaps explain a bit about what an ally actually is?
In simple terms, an ally is somebody who's on your side, right? So it could be anyone. It could be internal, external to the organization, but anyone who identifies with our network and the aims and objectives of that network is an ally to me. And I love allies because the more allies I have, the more powerful the network is.
Thank you. Have you got any top tips for how allies can get involved?
Enter the swimming pool in a slow, steady manner. So, if you're not sure how to get involved, come along to our meetings, first of all. Just listen in. We've got plenty of accessible information of the past as well, so that you can log on to. And then reach out to one of our, members or us directly, and then we can help you actually have a voice within the actual meeting itself. So those would be my top tips.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Sophie, do you have any top tips for allies getting involved?
So one of the best ways that allies can support our network is to just let other colleagues know that we exist as a network. Don't get the information and keep it to yourself. Tell your team about it. If there's posters, put them up in different areas. Behind toilet doors, the back of toilet doors is always a really good place to put posters where people will see it. So yeah, that's the best way that people can join us. And again, people can join us at Pride if they want to.
Thank you. Miriam, is there anything you'd like to add on that?
I think they've covered it really well. I think it's really important to go and listen and learn, and that sharing of the network in terms of getting that message out there. So what have you heard? Can you pass that on to your networks out, in your local areas, the posters, and raising that awareness really.
So Sophie, where do you think you'll see your staff network in the next 12 months? How do you think you're going to grow and keep it going in future?
We were really lucky. We had fantastic chairs before us and they've given us a really good base. So we'll just continue to advertise everywhere and let as many people as possible know about us. Try and gel together. One of the things that we want to do is to develop a clear vision for our network so that we're not just giving people information saying we exist, but saying we exist, this is what we believe in, this is what we want to do, this is how we're going to do it.
So you're ambitious for your network, that's really
Yeah.
good. Thank you. And in terms of the REN network?
So in terms of the REN network, we're relaunching a lot of the information, so the leaflets and posters that we're doing, and we're working alongside the other staff networks and doing that also. We have also worked on relaunching the terms of reference for our staff network. So I think some little changes like that we're hoping to be fully complete and fully established by 12 months. We are linking in with the other staff networks a lot more. We're also linking in with Bank Forum. So I think to establish like the networks that we have as well and the communication channels that we have, even with external people as well, to just have a better link. I think also we want to look at not just improving as membership numbers, but improving the participation that we have from the members and allies within our meetings, but also outside of our meetings, to work on improving the res data and again to ensure that we are being transparent and communicating all updates out that the trust are doing to improve incidents and bullying, harassment and hate crime support. So I think it's just making sure that we get the information out where it needs to be and ensure that the trust is actually making strides to improve where we can.
Lots of work involved there, thank you. And Miriam, in terms of your network?
So one of the themes that again came out from the staff survey for Your Voice Counts was around shining a light on Dawn, and again, like the other networks, bringing them into the forefront and making sure that people are aware of them. We need to work with the Your Voice Counts outcomes in terms of improving how we're working as a network and what our colleagues want to see out of it. So continuing to sort of work on that plan and move forward. We're already working on a piece of work around workplace adjustments, as it is something that comes up as part of the network. So within the next 12 months, just wanting to feed back actually what change has been achieved through that, and showing Dawn what a difference they've made.
You're all really ambitious for your networks, which is great to hear. So is there any personal messages you'd like to share? Maybe Maxine or Mahesh, on behalf of the Merran Network, is there a personal message you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've all come through a tremendously bad time, right? COVID was such an intense period in our society, in our lives. We gave it our all, and we suffered almost burnout. So as we now return to business as normal, so we all need to be safe, strong, and understanding of each other as we move forward into this new business as normal.
I think that's an excellent vision for all the networks.
Yeah.
That's really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sophie, would you like to give a personal message?
So the theme of this year's Staff Network Day is to stay strong. And trans rights are massively under attack at the moment. So my personal message would be to stay strong. You're not alone. There are people out there who can support you, and things will get better than they are at the moment.
And I echo that it's, we need to come together, stay strong, and I think that's around the networks coming together as well, so that we can share what it is that we're doing together.
Brilliant, thank you. You've all made such strong points about how you want the networks to work for members and for allies and for people directly involved, and I think a real message of hope. And you're absolutely right, coming out of COVID is really difficult, but staying strong and staying together, an excellent message for everybody. Thank you very much.
I think considering that we're trying to engage people, it'd be good if we shared the Twitter things that so people can find them, rather than just randomly going on trying to search.
I agree with that. So we've only just had a meeting around the Twitter account for the Race Equality Network. And so we are looking to get that up and running and get more stable with that. So yeah, we would be very keen to link in more with each other, support each other as genders. And I think we are all protective characteristics. So we do link in together in that way. So I think there is support that we can do for each other as well.
I think one of the things that we need to learn upon is to work together. And I mentioned allies earlier on. So let's just all be on the same page and work towards a common vision, because I think there's overlaps between all three of our networks, right? Yeah, and we've got lots of members across the trust, So I would like to think that we're one of the bigger networks, but we'd love to, what's the right word, to utilize that strength to help all the networks, because it benefits us all, I think.
Do you think the sponsors can have a massive impact on the way that agendas roll out and what's going on with the trust, but also linking in with the people plan as well? We do a lot of work around that. And so our agendas for our trust and our priorities that members have all mentioned already kind of link in with everything that's going on with the people plan. So I think it's about utilising them connections where we can.
Our personal experiences of both myself and Maxine is to say things and challenge things. And maybe when we're talking about interaction with senior management, a little bit of troublesome also, but it's all towards helping the trust achieve its goals, long-term goals, as per the people plan, as per the corporate objectives. But I think we need to make our voice really heard. So don't be shy, don't be afraid, and let's go for it.
It's really important for the board to understand how you feel about having a senior sponsor, and for the board to listen to the sponsors, because obviously they sit in our meetings. Is there anything else you think the board should be aware of or should be doing to support your work in the networks? Or anything else that you want to know about how I work or the non-exec directors work?
I think having that close interaction with the board on a regular basis, not just with your sponsor, right, is really important, because then I appreciate the board has its own methods of getting information up the line,
Yeah.
but there's always a secondary view or an alternative view that the board needs to understand. And all of us can bring very valuable insights to the board in their deliberations. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they actually come and join these meetings, they're going to see exactly what the frontline staff are saying and others, and really understand. It'll help them to understand the organisation better and the dynamics with different teams and things.
All our network members and all of them are screaming out that they want the incident reporting to reduce. They want the incidents that are happening to be reduced in the support. So I think it's important that the board hear that as well and think about policies and things that can be rolled out for trust-wide to understand and support staff better when issues of racism and discrimination and that are going on, because it is hard for staff to deal with that front line as well as looking after and caring for service users.
And is that incidents with service users or with other members of staff?
It's both that's happening at the moment. For our network, I know it is. I'm not sure about yourselves for your two networks.
Some of this could be improved with looking at the reporting methods and making sure that reporting is going to appropriate people, because if your manager has said something racist to you, you're not going to report an incident to them because they're going to ignore it. So there needs to be another way to bypass any bumps in the road like that and make sure that reports are being heard by people who are going to do something about it.
Do you invite the Freedom to Speak Up Guardian into the networks at all? Yeah, because that's another route through, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do think it's an interesting point that you made about the Freedom to Speak Up Guardian, and yes, we have had a lot of incidents reported through that channel, and there are different phases of things going on around the trust, but we are still having quite a lot of difficulties with racial incidents with staff and service users and that's staff to staff as well. So, and I can't imagine it's much different for Dawn or Rainbow Alliance, and so I think it is really important to be there to support all members of the organisation, because as a whole the NHS is to stay strong and support each other.
If anyone has an issue that they want to report and doesn't feel confident to speak to anyone else, speak to one of us and we'll be able to help you with that.
Yes, I think that's another important point, isn't it? That's another role the network can play, isn't it? Just giving people courage to come forward. Well, I'd certainly be interested in attending some of the networks, so I'll look out for the dates of your meetings. Thank you.
It was so great to hear all that conversation. I think what we've heard is in terms of that real passion and all those ideas that have come through from our Your Voice Counts engagement work, which is really, really good. And the other real key theme for me is what I was hearing from yourselves was that importance in terms of both our executive sponsors, because each of the networks has an executive sponsor, and the role that they currently play and can play in the future in terms of supporting the development of the networks to stay strong, to grow and develop in the future. And also, Merran, from your input as well in terms of linking in and understanding more about the networks. That was really good to hear. So just to say a huge thank you to everybody for Roundtable today, and particularly Merran for attending and facilitating. And just watch out for over the next 12 months that our networks will grow and develop further, and will continue, as we alluded to, around really supporting us around workplace equality, diversity and inclusivity, and really supporting us to deliver as a trust around our people plan ambitions. So thank you.